But you're back home, bro. So, catch us up on what happened as far as that goes, man.
And we, as Charles Barkley and them would say, we going fishing, dog. So
1, 2, 3 Cancun.
1, 2, 3 Cancun.
What they gonna be saying, Shaq? 1, 2, 3 Alaska.
Down. Down.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the BeBall Jones podcast featuring the player of the year himself. This is a little extra South saying it this time, man. Defensive player of the year himself. Nelson Haskins, what's up, bro?
What's going on, brother? You good?
Man, I'm amazing because people don't understand how special it is that I can call you defensive player of the year. We're gonna get into it, but I'm feeling amazing, brother. Just because of that, I'm amazing, man. What's up with you?
Man, hey, I feel the same way, man. Just happy to be here. Happy to still be going. Happy to, like you said, for that reason right there, defensive player of the year. And so, yeah, man, everything's good on my end too, bro.
So I'm gonna get straight into it, brother. For people who don't know, I have been calling him. We've been. I'm gonna spill a little beans. We've been pre-recording a lot of episodes, and on one of them, when I started, I just started calling defensive player of the year, just kind of like just messing around with it because you love defense, I love defense, you hooping, so why not call you that? You feel me?
Yeah.
And it got to a point where it's just like, that's what you really wanted. You was going after. So I was like, all right, we're gonna speak it into existence. So I was like, that's official, part of the introduction from now on. So come to find out, what was it, last week?
It was about two weeks ago now.
So yeah, about 2 weeks ago, it came to pass that my guy right here, the co-host of the podcast, is officially 100% the defensive player of the year.
Yes,
That's why this is so special, So now it's not just me talking, not just him talking. It is official. He has been crowned the award winner, the king of defense.
King of defense.
The defensive player of the year, man. So how does it feel, man? Like to finally get it to be official. At first, I want to say it was just talk, but it wasn't official. It kind of was talk, but it wasn't just talk. But how does it feel like officially had the hardwood in your hands to be like, I'm that guy. I am the defensive player of the year.
Man, it feels great, bro. Just to be real, man. I feel in one word, I feel validated, because I told you this, but I don't think I told everybody, spoke on it on air. But I've been saying that I was going to win Defensive Player of the Year since the summer. Because in the summertime, I was still staying up in Columbus on campus. And so I've been around my coaches and stuff and some of my teammates like year round, literally, because I never went home. Like I only went home for like short amounts of time, like maybe a week or a weekend. But so I spent more time in Columbus the past three like it started from today, like the past 365 days. I've been in Columbus way more than I've been at home. So it started back then when we was doing summer workouts and stuff. And I was like, next year I'm gonna be defensive player of the year in the Peach Belt. That's the conference we play in. It's called the Peach Belt Conference. One of the tougher conferences in the nation in D2. And I was like, Coach, I'm gonna be defensive player of the year next year. Because last year during COVID, we only played 12 games. And in those 12 games, I had 19 blocks. So I led the league in blocks, but I only played 12 games. Some people played more. Well, most teams had played more. And we didn't even get to finish our season because the last like 3 or 4 games we would have played, well, I think it was like 3 games left. The last 3 games we would have had got cut off due to COVID. So we didn't even play as many games. We didn't even play as many games as we were supposed to. And so that became like my goal. I said, Coach, next year I am going to be defensive player of the year. Like, I mean, and I stayed and I kept saying, I said it if it came up, I was telling them, like, I'm going to be defensive player of the year. And so that didn't even just start with us, but that started with myself speaking it into existence and working for it. And then, we were pre-recording episodes And we started talking about it, like you said, you start calling me that. And we was like, well, shoot, we might well just open the podcast like that every time, make it a thing, speaking into existence. And so when you said it, and I was already saying it, that just confirmed it for me. I was like, okay, like, yeah, like I'm going, like, as long as I keep putting the work in, I should have it. So, so here we are at the end of our season, and the work was noticed, and they rewarded me for it, and I really thank God, and I thank my coaches and my teammates, because my coaches' schemes and my teammates doing what they do couldn't, nobody ever achieves anything by themselves. So I'm really appreciative, and I'm just glad that the work didn't go unnoticed. I feel like that's how every athlete is. Like, when I put this work in, I just want people to notice. I want somebody to notice. Like, because nobody in the gym with me when I work, you know what I'm saying, other than like maybe coaches or a teammate or a trainer. Like, nobody, the gym be empty when you're working. So when I get the opportunity, I want that work to be noticed and validated. So I'm just happy to know that, the league appreciated it, and they didn't turn a blind eye to it. And, I wish I had the trophy to show you. I showed B at one point. Maybe he could throw like a clip in here or something. But I'm actually at home. I'm in Demopolis at my mama's house right now because, the season over with. So it's about that time to go see mom. So, I ain't seen her, like, other than a basketball game, I haven't seen her in like 5 months. So I haven't been home in like 5 months. So came on home, and the trophy's still in my room in Columbus. So, but yeah, man, I want to thank you for what, for speaking into existence too, brother. Like, part of me feel like I couldn't have did it without you, because the way you were speaking it, just like, it's one thing for me to say something, like speak on myself. That's one thing, but for other people to speak something over me, I feel like that's big too. So I appreciate you, brother. You got a part of. I'm gonna scratch your name on the bottom of the trophy somewhere real small. It's your award too, as far as I'm concerned. So I appreciate you too, bro.
You get a little tape and put it at the very bottom so nobody see it. I don't want your trophy to get messed up, bro. Like, I ain't trying to take too much of that, bro. I ain't one of them people, man. But I'm proud of you, bro. Like, for real, man. Like, words have power. Like, I always knew that, but then, like, the older I got, the more, situations come up, and little good stuff and bad stuff come up, and it's just like, watch your mouth be like good and bad, So with this happening, man, it just adds a little extra confirmation on top of, the effects and power of words. So I'm just happy for you, bro. Like, I know how hard you work. I have seen your growth, man, from a little bit of high school. I ain't see you too much in high school, but I saw enough to be like, okay, I see where you are, we working with, to now. It's a huge jump, bro. Like, people don't understand, bro. Like,
people don't, man.
It's a big growth, man. So I'm super proud of you, man. I'm ecstatic for you, bro.
I appreciate it, brother. So I just, now we at a point now where, like, the work is noticed, and when anytime you win an award or you have any kind of recognition like that, now the expectations have been placed higher. Like, people expect more out of you now, and so that's where I am now. Like, our season, we'll get into it more later, but our season didn't necessarily go the way we wanted it to go. But for me personally, like, more is going to be expected of me from now on, and my name is like, it's like I put a target on my own back. So I want to be Defensive Player of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year and MVP is two of them things where it's like, now guys want to go at you, like, what I'm saying. So, like, if you MVP of the league, when guys play, you're like, oh, he MVP, I'm finna show him something. I'm finna show him who the MVP is. That, what I'm saying. And then if you Defensive Player of the Year, they like, oh, you Defensive Player of the Year, throw me the ball. Let me see what you talking about. This, you know what I'm saying. So, I got the target on my back now, so I got to defend the crown. So I'm ready though. I ain't never been one to back down for no challenge. So I'm ready for it. Like, next season, they're gonna have to show me. That's my attitude towards everything. You're gonna have to show me, dog. So we gonna keep it pushing.
So, I know personally what's going on, but you back at home, bro. So that's It's a yin and yang to this update. You know, you got the defensive player of the year. It's just beautiful. But you're back home, bro. So, you know, catch us up on what happened as far as that goes, man. You know.
And we, as Charles Barkley and them would say, we gone fishing, dog. So
1, 2, 3 Cancun.
1, 2, 3 Cancun. Man, so first off, I say our season, we had a very difficult year, let me say. Like team-wise. And just starting from the beginning of the year, we started out hot out the gate, won our first 7 games, I want to say. Like, we started out pretty hot before we lost to a ranked Alabama Huntsville team, University of Alabama Huntsville. That was our first loss. But we still was off to a hot start. You know, at Christmas time, I want to say we was 10-1 or something like that at Christmas. But unfortunately, over Christmas break, we lost one of my teammates, Anthony Moore, who passed away on Christmas Eve in a car accident. So he was one of our starters. He's been a 3-year starter. So, you know, great player, great person. So we had to get through that as a team when we heard the news. So that was pretty difficult. And then it took us a while to bounce back from that, to learn how to play without him, because, you know, that was a starter who played close to 30 minutes a game. So, you know, that's a lot of time and a lot of stats to fill. So it took us a while to figure it out, but we eventually got back rolling. And then we ended up finishing 20-10 overall. Ended up finishing the season 20-10. So still had a great season. We made the playoffs. And we made our conference playoffs. And in the first round, we go to a school called USC Aiken, and we're winning. And in the last few minutes of the game, but unfortunately, in the middle of crunch time, my point guard, LD, breaks his wrist. His wrist was already hurting him. So we suspected that it might have been sprained or something like that. But, you know, he want to play. You know, it's playoff time. He just got to fight through it. And at one point, his hand got kind of caught on somebody else, and they ran past him, and it snapped, and he broke his wrist. And so we lost him for the majority of the playoffs. But we ended up winning that game. So we went into the next game against Augusta University, or University of Augusta, however it goes. And who was number 1 seed in our conference. We go to Augusta to play them, and we end up losing that one by 9, I want to say. So tough loss in the playoffs. And Augusta ended up winning the championship. So we didn't get that ring. But luckily, a couple days later was Selection Sunday for the NCAA tournament. You know, the basketball heads and he'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't win your conference championship and get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, you have to be selected by a committee, by the NCAA. And so luckily we were selected. They felt that we had done enough. We were 20-10. And you know, they gave us the 7th seed. And so we made the NCAA tournament, which is a big accomplishment in itself. So we go to the NCAA tournament. We matched up with number 4 team in the nation, Queens University. So, needless to say, pretty good team. But at this point, we down LD, we without Ant. And we also was without one of our last year starters named KC, who tore his ACL in the offseason. So he hadn't played a game all year. But those were 3 of our last year starters who not playing at this point. So we go into this game at the NCAA tournament. We still feel, the crazy thing is we still feel like we got enough to win. So we know we go in there with the right mindset, trying to get a game, trying to advance. And we play them tough, you know, had a real tough game. Went down to the wire. We just going back and forth. Unfortunately, in crunch time, me and my teammate Hunter Preston, who was first team all conference this year, both of us fouled out. And our best scorer, our highest our number one scorer on the team was cramping and all sorts of things. Like he caught cramps mid-game. You could just tell it was a long season. Yeah. By the way, everything was like crumbling at the end. Like you could tell. And so we ended up losing that one by 2. So we lost our first round NCAA tournament game by 2 points. Heartbreaking, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I felt like we played hard, gave it everything we had, just didn't go our way. So that's kind of how our season ended. And everybody want to end their season on top. Everybody want that ring. I wanted to come in here and show you guys the ring on my fist and whatnot and tell y'all how everything went down. But, that's just not the way it went this time around. So, but I'm proud of us, proud of what we did, what we accomplished, especially through the adversity that we had. And, yeah, man, I'm at home, but, that's okay. I felt like we did. I feel like we did what we could, and we played to the best of our ability, and so I can live with that, So now I'm at home resting, trying to recuperate. Been a long year, so it's all right.
I was wondering how did the loss of Ant impact you individually and as a team? Because that's not a very common thing. It's one thing to lose somebody to injury, like you said, an ACL or MCL, shoulder, knee, ankle, Achilles, whatever. That's a more common thing to have an injury because that person is still there. But it's a whole nother thing, or even transfers and stuff. That's a whole nother situation. But to actually lose a teammate in that case, that's not the most common thing that, we have to deal with, especially in this field. So how did, that impacts you? Like, I know we talk a lot about you have to be professional, play through it and stuff, but it's a curveball, brother. Like, this ain't something you can prepare for. Injuries is one part of the game, but for this thing to happen, that's a whole nother thing. So how did that impact you, man? Like individually and as a team from your perspective?
Man, it was rough. Man, I can't lie. It was real rough. When you lose somebody you close to or that you used to seeing every day, it always takes a minute to get adjusted to them not being there like that, especially with the suddenty of our losing Ant. Like you said, it's one thing if somebody gets hurt or somebody leaves, then we kind of see it coming or whatever. It's like, all right, we're not gonna see him as much. It was like, man, one day he was here and then the next day he wasn't. And so I think one of the better things about the situation was that it happened during Christmas time, which is unfortunate that it happened at Christmas time. But at the same time, I feel like for us, that might have been the best thing that could have happened if it was going to happen, because it gave us some time between his passing and us having to play a game. Because if we would have had to play a game like the next day or 2 days after that, I don't know if we could have. Or I don't know how we would have performed or what would have happened. But it gave us about a week to kind of just be there, be together as a team before we actually had to play. And so it was, like I said, it was tough, man. It was not easy. I'm trying to get used to not being with him. He was just a big presence for us off the court and on the court. He was one of those teammates that are like ask the whole team, like, do y'all want to go get something to eat? Like, do y'all want to go get something to eat? Like, not he wasn't like one of those guys that would click up and only hang out with certain guys. Like, he'd be like, y'all boys hungry? And you could or could not go, but that was him. He was like, and that's the funny thing about it. Like, he would invite everybody, and if nobody said nothing, he was still gonna go. It was like, oh, okay, y'all want to go? Well, I'm going. So I'm just inviting y'all. So that was just the kind of guy he was, man. And so it took us a minute to adjust him not being there. And we were there for his family as a team. Like, his family is like very close to some of us. He got a son named Jam, or named Jace, but we call him Jam. And so, like, Jace got like 15 uncles now. Like, so like we done all adopted Jam. Like, we all love him, and like we'll do anything for him just because his daddy was like such a big part of our life. And now he's not there for him. Like now we'll do anything for Jam and his girlfriend Jayla. Like they all like family to us now. And so we all just kind of been there for each other during that time, and we got through it together, and kept pushing to try to make something out of the season for him, because we knew like Ant was not somebody to sit around and be sad. He was like he was a happy and he was a happy and caring person. So we knew we couldn't just sit around and be sad. Like we need to make something happen for him. Let's make this season good for him. And so that was our mindset going forward. And you know, that's us off the court. But on the court, it took a minute to adjust to him not being there, because Ant averaged 11 and 9, like 9 rebounds. So, and he was our leading rebounder. So you talking about replacing like rebounding and scoring, and he was a ball handler, and like he made great decisions with he made good decisions with the ball, and he knew where to be on defense because he was an older guy. Like this was his 4th year at CSU, his 3rd year playing at CSU. And so he was an older dude. Like he been around here for so long, he knows everything, he knows the system. And you can't really replace knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like you can replace talent, but like knowledge and like IQ and things of that nature, like you can't replace that. And so that was one of the many things that we missed. And I did not realize how much I was gonna miss him on the court until we started back practicing. And then we started back practicing, and we split off into teams to do stuff, to do drills or whatever, and compete. And I got a group full of young boys on my team. Really, like everybody on my team was like freshmen and sophomores. And so, you know, I'm behind in the defense. I'm like the quarterback of the defense. I'm telling guys where to go, communicating with them, making sure they're in the right places. And guys not in the right spots. Like we just, having a lot of defensive miscues. And I remember I told my coach, I said, man, coach, we used to mess with Ant about being old. That was one of our things with him. Like we used to call him old all the time because he was the older guy on the team. He got a son, everything. So we used to call him old all the time. And I said, man, coach, we used to mess with Ant about being old, but boy, I sure wish some of these boys were old around this time, right now, but because everybody's young. I said, boy, I wish somebody was old. So it took us a minute to adjust to him not being there. We tried a couple different lineups for people in this spot before we got the one where we were comfortable with. And so after a while, we kind of bounced back. We lost that first game without him against a school called Flagler, another NCAA tournament team. And we kind of felt it that day, like, oh man, we don't have this, we don't have that. We could see what we was missing that day. And then, after that first loss, we kind of, like I said, we had to play around with some lineups, but we eventually figured it out and got back rolling and turned the season back around. Like our record was never bad, but we got back on the right track and we still finished 20-10. So I'm proud of what we accomplished. And I think Ant up there proud of us too, because Ant really wanted to go to the NCAA tournament. That was another thing for him. Ant was big on wanting to be ranked, and he wanted to go to the NCAA tournament. He had never done either one of those. And so I'm glad that we did that for him. And yeah, man. So it was hard. It was very hard, but we here now, and we on the better end of it. That's still my guy. I still miss him, but I hope he's proud of us. That's all I can really say about it.
It gotta be, man, because that's not a small feat, to get to the tournament. There's a lot of teams that are at home at the selection, on selection Sunday, just like, oh, we finna get picked. And they like, wow, we didn't get picked. It easily could have been y'all, but y'all one of those teams got picked. So if even though you didn't go as far as you wanted to, but there's still a level of appreciation for you where you did go. So like you said, that's a lot, bro. Between losing him and losing both your other teammates in the process of the middle of the season, like that's a lot to deal with, you know. So y'all some warriors, bro. I get that to y'all, man, because for you to overcome the loss of a teammate like that, plus you know the injuries that you overcame, and like cramps are just the that's the devil, bro. Cramps are just terrible, man. So
Man, I hate them. Well, athletes know, like you cramp up. Well, anybody that work out should know, but like athlete, when you really got to compete, like you know, cramps will end it. Like
it's a wrap, bro. That's something you can't even fight through sometimes. Where you try to, and it's just like, nope, you sit down, bro. Like you, you can try to as long as you want to, but you catch one good one, it's a wrap, bro. So I know that was a lot to overcome, man. So if you ain't proud of that, man, it's none of this y'all could have did, man. So I know I'm proud of y'all. I know I ain't your teammates don't know me, but I'm proud of what y'all did, man. So that's a long season, bro. But y'all here now, so y'all overcame it. It's like the finish line. One long as the finish line that y'all wanted to be, but y'all got this far. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. It's just, like I told the guys too. I said I'm proud of us. We accomplished something. Like we may not have no rings on our fingers, but we accomplished something. So I'm satisfied. I'm not. What I say. I'm not satisfied with what we did, but I am proud of us. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, I got one more year to play here at CSU, so you know I'm gonna try to make it count with these boys going forward. But this year, like I can honestly say this was the hardest season I've ever been a part of, like easily. Like I'll never forget it. Like this season in its entirety was the hardest basketball season I've ever played in. The hardest year of basketball I've ever been in. So yeah, man. I'm like I said, I'm glad. Like you know, we made it to the other side of it. We toughed it out. We stayed together. That's another big thing. We stayed together as a team, and we made it through, and we accomplished something. So I'm good with that.
So what went into your decision to come back this year or next year?
So, well, let me not say that like 100% right now. You know, I'm just at home right now. The season literally ended like 2 days ago. So, so let me. I don't want guys to just be 100% like set on it, but like, I am most likely coming back because the only reason I would not come back is if somebody was to offer me like a certain amount of money that like I could not pass up. You know what I'm saying? Pro wise. But I already told my coach, I said, Coach, I'm not going to other school. Like, I told him when Coach at Kentucky called me right now, I'll be in here with y'all. He said, I don't know about that. Y'all think you might want to go and take that. I said, well, I might think about it, but at the same time, I go to Kentucky, ain't no guarantee I'm going to play. I'll appreciate the gesture. And I tell Coach Cal, thank you. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather be a Cougar. So I'm locked in with these guys, with my coaching staff, and my teammates that I still got, and the community, the school, the community. They've really embraced me. You know, done a lot for me, all that. So I'm locked in with these guys over here. So only a great pro deal would be a reason for me to leave. And so unless somebody call my phone soon, like I ain't, you know, not to advertise myself and then, but you know, let somebody start in my line. I'm locked in with these boys. So for right now, I'm a Cougar. I can say that with 100% honesty. I am a Cougar right now.
You kind of in that weird phase we hear a lot with certain, actually about right now around this time, a lot of players, you know, they're debating between like going to the NBA draft and returning to school. And it's like you kind of in the same situation where it's like, do I stay for another year and improve my draft stock, or do I just, you know, take a leap in the water and just go get drafted? You know, if you in a lottery pick or almost a guaranteed lottery pick, you pretty much gone. You know, first round pick, you know, debatable. You might want to raise your stock up a little bit. Second round pick, it's up to you, you know, but you're basically in the same situation where if a pro contract come across the table, it's like, oh, this what's up. Go ahead, do what I gotta do. Do what you do, man. So that's interesting. I ain't think about it till right now that you just basically in that same situation. Basically, it's just a different
Not
league.
glamorized.
Yeah, it's not as glamorized or as popular as the whole production show of the NBA draft now. So that's what's up, bro. Like you that close to being a pro. Like it just really hit me that you that close to being a pro. Like so we got to figure out a new title to come up with, man, to push for that one. So for right now, it's still defensive player of the year.
Oh yeah, no, we rocking with that one till I'm out of college. Defensive player of the year. Like maybe later on in the future, we'd be like professional basketball player Nelson Haskins or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna come
We'll
with
figure
something.
out what the next one is.
Yeah. I'm gonna be happy about that too, man. So yeah, man, it's been a long time since September, man. Because that's the last episode we had before we dropped into season 2. So anything else came up, man? That's because September, October, November, December, January, February, March. See, that's almost half a year, bro. So anything else new came up?
Since September, let me think. Since September, I don't want to just leave nothing out since we doing this. I started working at the YMCA in my part-time, working with, I watch kids and junk like that. And so that's been real cool. It's been a big part of my life recently, watching kids and getting to know them and, developing a little attachments with them. Anybody that's ever worked with children, you train a lot of kids. I don't know how young you go with training, but the kids I be watching be from 5 up to 12. So it's a wide range of kids. And then, I try to get them little life advice and junk like that. Then I find myself really like feeling like a dad now. Like I really like, cause to them, I'm like dad age now, especially if they were like 5 or 4. Like I'm like dad age, like a young dad, but in their mind, like I could be their dad. So it's really like that's really been kind of a cool little thing for me to do on the side. And, I'm about to start training a little bit on now that the season over with, trying to get in your bag. Especially in the summertime, I'll be training a lot around campus and working basketball camps and stuff like that. That's gonna be the next big thing right now. And I also, still doing my schoolwork and stuff and trying to graduate. But that's gonna be a little side hustle of mine. And other than that, man, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just trying to. Oh, I also meant to say that in the playoffs, I was named PBC tournament all tournament team. I meant to say that too. I was named as all tournament team, and in our last game in the tournament in the semifinals, I had 25-7. 25-7 and three blocks. My career high, 25 points. Like best game I ever played. Like hands down, best game I ever played. So we still lost, but individually, best game I ever played. I did everything I could. So
I think that has to trump. No offense, but I think that has to trump anything at Bevel just because it's a whole nother level of competition you go against. Like,
and I say that because I say that's my career high, but technically at Bevel I had 26 once against like a little no-name prep school. I don't count that though. Even though it was in a part of our season, I don't really count that because it's like, who were they? They was like a little no-name prep and playing a JUCO team. So we were supposed to win. We blew them out, and I had 26 and a double-double. But I don't count that because it wasn't against nobody. But this game, semifinals of our conference tournament against Augusta State, what was Augusta ranked in the nation? They was ranked like number, I can't even remember. Like they was top 5 in the nation. Or at the time, they was top 10, actually. No, I'm tripping. They was top 5 in the nation. Augusta hosted the region. So they was number 1 in our region in the NCAA tournament. So a great Augusta team who ended up winning the PBC tournament. And, gave them 25. The guy guarded me 7 foot. So it's just, man, I don't think it get no better than that or no bigger. Other than maybe if we was in the finals. I don't think it didn't get no bigger than that right there. So yeah, that's my best game ever. hands down.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like we kind of talked about this before with the levels of basketball. It's like you putting up 30 in JUCO, that's cool, it's respectable. You know, no knock against that.
Mm-hmm.
But putting up 22 at D2, it's a whole nother game. Like, especially depending on the team you playing. It's just like, would you have more points? Nah, bro, competition is the same. Like, it's just different, bro. It's like, not to say this is an equal comparison, but just imagine going up against, you know, a 10-year-old versus a 20-year-old. It's just a little different. I'm not saying that's the exact comparison I make. I don't want nobody to be offended.
Right.
But it's just the difference of competition. You know, you're going against a 10-year-old. It's like, I'm expecting you to drop 30. Like, if you don't drop 30, you're ashamed of yourself.
You're bad.
But then you slash that in half, you drop 15 against a 20-year-old. It's like, oh, respectable. Okay. It's like, that's a tough 15, you know. That's just it's not an accurate comparison, but hoopers get what I'm saying. I ain't trying to offend nobody. So and I realize that too, man. Our podcast is for hoopers, so I ain't gotta like justify too many things. You know, some people get offended and sensitive about stuff, so I gotta pull an extra sprinkle on there. Somebody get hurt, but that 25 and 7 means a little bit more at the D2 level.
Facts, it does. And the crazy thing about it, man, the shots I was making, like, it just was crazy. Like I've never been a scorer. Clearly, I've said that multiple times. Never been a scorer. Never been the number one option on the team. Nothing. Been the number two option, which is good. You know, I feel like that's more my speed. Like, but this was one game where it was like they keyed in on Hunter, my other big, who was first team all conference, which rightfully so they should have. He averaged 15 a game. So they keyed in on him. I think they banked on me not doing nothing. I think they banked on that because I averaged 9 and 7. So I think they banked on me like not being good enough to beat them. You know what I'm saying? No, you know how it is.
Yeah.
I think that was really like their game plan. So they were like, I had space. Not saying they just left me completely open, but I was open a lot. And like I had a lot of space before somebody closed out to me. And I was just making shots. I was making a lot of middies. And then, you know, I eventually got it going. And it's funny story in the game. The first shot I took, I had the ball. Somebody swung the ball to me, high post. I caught it, fake pass to get somebody off of me. And then I shot. But when I shot, my hand went on the ball right no more after I fake passed it. You know how you got to have your ball, like the ball sick a certain kind of way a lot of times. So when I caught it, I fake passed it immediately, dude bit on it. And then I just kind of shot it long, hit the other side of the backboard, like badness. A couple minutes later, I came out. Sat next to my assistant coach, Carl, who was also like my trainer. He trains me. We work out almost every day during the season. And he was like, what happened on that meeting? I said, I ain't had the ball right in my hand. Don't worry about it. I won't miss no more. He said, all right. And then a couple minutes later, I went back in. Did not miss no more. Did not miss another. It was crazy. Like, and it was even funny because the same thing happened again where I caught the ball, fake passed it, dude moved, I shot it and went in. And like the same thing even happened. I was like, I told you I won't miss no more, bro. And when I went back in, the next shot I took, I run in transition. And my guard Grant is ahead of me. And I'm kind of trailing him. And I said, I'm trailing you. He broke right, kicked it back to me. I caught that junk in transition, shot it, immediately started backing up. That junk, I was like, yeah, I got it going. Don't worry about nothing. Don't worry about nothing. I got it going. So I ended up being 10 for 14 and 25 points, like I said. So big game, man. Like, what can I say? This was a big game. Proud of the way I played. I wish, it would have resulted in a win. But, it just didn't go our way. And the other team I might want to point out, Augusta played like the game of their life because they had 3 turnovers the whole game, a Peach Belt tournament record. Like, nobody, like, I think they said they tied the record, actually, like for the lowest amount of turnovers in the game. They only turned the ball over as a team 3 times. And they shot 26 for 28 from the free throw line. So they played like as close to perfect as you can almost get offensively. So like I said, it just didn't go our way, man. But I'm proud of the way I played. The work, once again, the work was recognized. They gave me our tournament team. So, yeah, proud of that also.
That's what's up, man. You know, it's been a long journey for you, man. Like people, I'm gonna keep saying that people don't understand, bro. Like it's been a long journey for you, man. So
they really don't. I'll be saying that myself. Like people don't know how far they really came. Only a few people really know. The guys I played with in high school, they know. My mama and family, like my family, all of them know. You know, like, but people meet me on the journey when I'm like I already gained so much ground. You know what I'm saying? I played JUCO. My JUCO guys know how far I done came since then. But even they don't know the full story because they ain't see me in high school. So, like, now I'm at this point where I'm playing at a high level and guys see me play. They're like, man, you hooping, man. You a good player. And I'll be part of me, I swear, Brian, part of me, every time somebody tell me how good I am or how good I'm playing, part of me want to say, you ain't really see me before. Like, you don't know. You don't know. Like, I used to not be, like, I've always been a good player for the level I was on. But compared to what I'm doing now, like, I have not been good. Like, I really believe, like folks don't know how much work I had to put in to get to this point. Like, Brian, there was a point in the Augusta game, like, there's just a few clips in my season I could point to where I was like, man, like 6 months ago, a year ago, there's no way I would ever did that. Like, there's one play, maybe I'll if you remind me, I'll send it to you so you can put it here right here. There's one play in like our last regular season game against Georgia College. I caught the ball at the 3-point line, ripped through. I took like 2 dribbles in, and I did a behind the back, stepped back out to the behind the back, pulled a midi, cash. I never did that in game. I don't know what came over me to do it. I just believed in it. Like when I went to it, that felt like the move to do. Like my instincts just told me to do it. And it came off perfect. Like I got to do it behind the back. When I stepped back, I created a lot of separation. And then I was good. In the Augusta game, while I had it going, they swung it to me in the short corner. I caught it, pump fake dude. He jumped. I one dribble sidestep, midi, good. Like, it's just things that I know a year ago I would have never done. And now people be coming up to me like, man, you hooping. I'll be like, man, I appreciate it, bro. Like, them days really keep me humble because I know how far they really came. Like, I'm not, you know, I've never been like the high school phenom. And I think that's what keep me humble more than anything. Like, I work for all of this. And so that's part of my mentality now. Like when guys like be like, man, you hooping, bro. You played that, like you did this, you did that. I'll be like, man, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm gonna be glad that people realize that I didn't, you know, that I'm doing something now. So yeah, it's just one of them things, man. It's been a long journey.
that's what's up, bro. I'm gonna keep giving you flowers on that, bro, because it's the truth, man. That's all I can say, bro. Like the work has shown, you know. You ain't got to talk about it. You ain't got to say too much because the work has been it's been evident, you know. So that's what's up, bro. Man,
I appreciate it, man. Oh, well, I'm glad that you happy just the same way I'm happy. Like it makes me happy knowing how happy you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm at a good place in my life, man. Because like you know, some people are happy on surface, but inside they're not really happy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a part of them is just like it might be a little jealousy, it might be bitterness because they feel like they could have been. It's nothing against you personally. It might have been something about them. You feel me? So I'm at a place now. I'm not saying I was like this before, but you know how sometimes you happy for people, but it's not like all the way there. I'm at a really good place now. I was like, I'm genuinely happy for people, and it's just like I've always been happy for people, but it's just another level. I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's just like I forgot who it was. Somebody hit me up with something. I just like, oh, that's what's up, bro. Like, I'm genuinely like next level happy for you, bro. Like, I'm celebrating in my mind, like that was me. Like, I'm in a real good place as far as that goes, man. So I'm gonna celebrate you, man. Like, it's dope to see you like at this level now and to be, you know, recognized outside of you know, the small circles that we're in. It's cool to recognize it, like your friends and everything, or your teammates. You be like, man, Nelson, you good, man. it's another thing for somebody from the outside comes in. It's like, yo, you doing your thing. Obviously, because you said you won the conference tournament, one of the players of the conference tournament, and you won defensive player of the year. Like that's outside recognition coming in. So when you get that, that's another level of validation that everybody needs from time to time. It's one thing to tell yourself and speak over yourself. Nothing for your family, homeboy stuff, people around you say something. It's nothing from basically a stranger just to be like, you're doing your thing, bro. So that's just something that I'm very happy about, bro. Because I understand that, So for you to be at this point now is making me happy, man. So that's what's up, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man. And it's it's been really crazy. Like you said, sometimes strangers will tell you congratulations or compliment you. I think that's the weirdest part of it to me. Cause like when I got defensive player of the year, they put on social media and stuff, people sharing it or whatever. And people around campus would come up to me like, hey man, congratulations. I'd be like, for what? Like, because I don't know them. I'd be like, congratulations. And I realized like, oh, people like really know that I won defensive player of the year. Like, it's not just sometimes, things happen and like only the basketball team really know. Or like people within the program or other athletes. This was something like the school knew about. And people would be like, man, congratulations, bro. I saw you won defensive player of the year. And I'd be like, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Like people I never even knew. And then I think the wildest one was when we went to the NCAA tournament and we getting ready to practice. We had our practice time in Augusta's gym. And a school called Lincoln Memorial had just got through practicing. And one of their players is one of my old JUCO teammates, Martez. So I walked in, saw him, I went up to him, got him a hug and everything, like, good to see him. And I said, man, you've been hooping, bro. I've been watching you, man. I've been keeping up. You've been hooping. His point guard named Chase said, man, you've been hooping, bro. Like, I saw you had 25 on Augusta, bro. That's tough. I was like, oh, like, you saw that? Like, yeah, bro. Like, that's tough, bro. Like, 25 against a 7-footer, bro. Like, man, you was playing. I was like, dang, people like know about that. Like, I ain't think.
Yeah.
It's like made my day. I'm like, bro, people really know about that. Even though we lost, I'm thinking when we lost, it was like, man, I'm happy about what I did. I'm proud of like the way I played. But when we lost, I was like, well, that's just down the drain now. Like we lost the game. But Buddy still knew. He was like, man, you was hooping against Augusta. I was like, dang, you knew about that. Like, I appreciate that. Like, he just don't know how much he made my day. He just do not know, boy. So yeah, man, I'm one of them people too who can be genuinely happy for people, and like with you, like every time I see one of your training videos and stuff, and like when I see like you talking about how guys that got better, or when you go like I saw like recently, you were supporting a lot of your kids at the BJCC and then state championships and stuff. Like I'd be happy to see that. I'd be like, man, he trained a kid that's competing for a championship. That's big. Like if you train a kid that's a key player on a championship team, like that's big. So like I try to be that way with everybody too. Like, man, I want everybody to win. That's my thing. I want to see everybody win. So that's just me though. But like I said, everybody ain't like that. But I'm glad, man. That's why we partners. Because we can be happy for each other in that way. So appreciate it.
Oh yeah, bro. So my last little question for you is just as far as like the podcast goes, man, like from last season to this season, man, like what are some like where do you see it going? I ain't trying to go too far in ahead, but just from last season to this season, what do you see as far as like any changes? How can I ask this? From last season to this season, have you seen any difference? Like during that time, that little break we had, have you seen any differences with like how people talk to you or anything, and just like how people respond to you or anything? And then like where do you see us going, this next season?
Yeah, recently a lot of people have been like, man, I think we just gaining more momentum, gaining more getting more ears, getting more people to listen. People are really like sometimes people will come up to me and be like, man, I didn't know you had a podcast. And like I didn't have to tell them. Like they just knew, like they saw it on social media or something like that. But man, I didn't know you had a podcast, bro. That's what's up, man. What's the name of them? Subscribe, this and this. And so I remember like one of the biggest things that touched me, one of my teammates, Mason, freshman on the team this year, he hit me in the heart one day. He said, we said something about the podcast. He said, "Oh yeah, bro." Said, "Oh yeah, bro, I be listening, man. Y'all talk about some good stuff on there." I said, "Make sure you listen to the podcast." So yeah, bro, I listen to it every week. Every time I come out, I'll be on it. I said, "Why you ain't tell me you listen to it?" Said, I just be listening to it. I said, "Man, I appreciate that, bro." Like I didn't even have to ask him. Like he my teammate and all, but I didn't even have to ask him to do that. He just listened and he enjoyed the content. That means more to me than me asking him, and he doing it. Like for him to want to listen to it, that means a lot to me. And so to answer the second part of your question, I feel like it's only getting better. The content only getting better. We only get more what's the word? Polished, I guess is the word I use.
Yeah.
We're getting better with it. We get more used to it. And so it's only up from here. That's the way I see it. I see us like gaining to that point where we have thousands of views or thousands of listens on multiple platforms, and growing your channel, growing your platform, individually, and yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Just doing what we do on a higher level, higher scale. Eventually, not to spoil too much, but eventually getting more outside people on the podcast and things like that, talking to people with knowledge on the game or certain things, and trying to spread a little more game and stuff like that. Because we don't want to just make this our opinions podcast, even though we is gonna throw our opinions out because this is our thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we don't want it to just be like hey, listen to what we say, listen to our opinions all day, all the time. Like we want to give you guys some game and stuff more than anything, and give you guys some knowledge on things like that. That's why we did the college recruitment episode that just came out and stuff like that. We want you guys to like actually get something out of it. So here pretty soon we're gonna start having more outside people come on and help us out with that, give us some more knowledge, and give you guys some more knowledge and insight. And yeah, man, just keep it going, man. I hope to keep this going as long as I can. And, I know, like we've been talking about, like, I want to be a pro and all that soon. And that's all well and good, but like, I want to try to find a way to keep this incorporated in my life and keep it going. Like, I don't want it to be like, well, guys, it's been fun, but I'm going to go play pro basketball now. Bye. That's not how I want to lead things. So I want to try to keep it going as long as I can and see where it takes us, man. Like maybe, like who knows what our future could be in this. This could be both our careers one day. So. Yeah, man, that's how I see it, bro. What about you though?
I'm in the same way. I mean, answer both the questions, just like the last one.
Both of them.
So the first part, from last season to this season, it was really I had my head in the ground, bro. Like an ostrich. I was really just head down and kind of just like thinking through how can we make this season, like when we come back, how can we make it way better than we did before? Having talks with my brother. Matter of fact, let me shout out my brother right here, because once again, it's our podcast. We can kind of do what we want to do. Shout out to my brother, man. He has a very, very dope, show. It's called The War Report. I'm gonna throw something up right here so y'all can see it. It's basically just a Auburn sports podcast where they started off doing just football, breaking down, the Auburn football games, and they had like 3 or 4 episodes a week, which we'll probably not get to because I'm not finna edit 3 or 4 episodes a week. So if y'all looking for that, I'm sorry.
We got to be on the level where somebody else can edit that before we get to doing that.
Yeah, somebody gonna have to be a part of the team and edit the podcast because nah. So he dropped about 3 or 4 episodes a week. And now I think this season they branched out doing Auburn basketball too. So any Auburn fans, any Warrior fans, y'all go check out the War Report. But just having talks with my brother, he gave me a few little keys to how to grow, this podcast we have here, and just like trying to figure out how to lock in on that and to really make sure that I take that idea and like just stretch it a little further and go a little deeper and stretch a little bit wider than what he gave me. How to really execute it's been like my focus, and just how to grow the podcast overall, and little things I've been looking at for like certain goals we have. So I got a couple of looks. One of my players, surprising, same situation. He was like, we was actually at a tournament, and he was telling me I listened to the podcast. I was like, a word? Like, he's out the blue. He's just like, man, listen to the podcast, man. It's pretty good. Like, for real? Like, yeah, man, I like it, man. I like what y'all be talking about, man. Some good stuff. And you know how I am. I'm trying to. So what episodes you like, bro? Like, what you like about? Like, cause I'm trying to. I don't know. That's how I am. I was like, what you like about it, man? He's like, he gave me some stuff, gave me some feedback. I'm like, dang, bro, that's what's up, man. Like, it's kind of the same situation with you getting defensive player. It's like, it's dope to see the work we're putting in to be recognized. I ain't getting no award enough for this, but it's like, it hurts sometimes when you put so much effort into something, put work out there to like feel like it's being ignored. And it feels like nobody sees it. It's like,
you want the work to be recognized.
It's tough, bro. Like, I don't think people understand how much goes into a lot of things in general. I ain't just talking about me, but like things in general, bro. Like, to run a business takes a lot. To run a podcast takes a lot. It's easy on the surface. Like, all you gotta do is A, B, and C. But what people don't realize, under A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Under B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Under C is 10 things under that. And so it's like, yeah, all you gotta do is get a microphone, get a camera, have something to talk about, post it. Easy, right? It's like, oh, I can do that. Well, okay. You gotta do 10 things under just getting the camera. You gotta do 10 things under getting the mic. It's 10 things under posting, and not put it out there. So there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I've been doing and trying to make sure we're in the right direction. It's nice to see that being recognized, and to know that the work is being not just being noticed, but actually being like accepted, and to be like, bro, I like what y'all doing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I've just been really like focused on pushing myself and the podcast out there more, because I'm used to being in the background. I ain't got to be the guy with attention and stuff. Like, I'm chilling, bro. Like, so sometimes I got to get out my little shell of like chilling in the background to put myself out front a little bit more. So that's been my main focus with this too, man. But where I see us going, actually, I got to tell you something about this when we get done recording, but I see us like implementing some things that's going to be like key to really pushing us to like a next step and a next level that is really simple, but the execution of it and like the theory behind it almost just like common sense, but it's a really good common sense thing. Like, a lot of stuff in life we overcomplicate, and it's really simple. It's just like, man, do this, and this. All right, cool, boom. And it's just like thinking of like the very next simple thing to do has been my main focus. So I see us getting to a point where, like for my career, bro, I really want to get to a point where I train, I come record a podcast, and that's really the bulk of my life. I got a whole nother business thing I want to do too, but this is the most of it, where it's just like train, do a podcast, train, do another podcast, train some more and do another podcast, where it's just like, that's my life, bro. So I see us getting to that point. But one thing I realized too, man, like, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So it's like, man, I see the podcast going this direction. Guy be like, that's it, bro. Like, that's it. All right, bet, watch this, man. So on one hand, I have very concrete plans. Well, not concrete, but just very thought out plans of where I see us going, what we're doing. On the other hand, it's just like, we'll see. So it's a balance game or a rhythm game between like, I know exactly where I want to go, where I see us doing, like trying to do a podcast. Guy might be like, man, I got something else for you too. So I'm always keeping my head up and my eyes open to just whatever he has, because it can be something amazing that we haven't thought of, something we just like out of the world. Just be like, man, I'm gonna let y'all be the first ones to do this. Just like, man, word, us? All right, cool. So this is kind of where I see it going. I see it going somewhere, but then I have no clue where it's going at the same time. So that's just where I'm at with the podcast.
Hey, man, like they always say, man, we may make plans, but God has the plan. So that's just how it is. So like I said, we have our own visions for where things go, but we never know if that's exactly how it's gonna be. It might be greater than that. So or not in the exact way that we see it. So I just can't wait to see it. You know, I'm along for the ride. I'm locked in with you. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep it rolling, man. Try to do something with it, man. Do the best we can. So, but so we talked about me and what I've been doing these past 6 months and everything, and how my season has gone and things of that nature. So let's flip it a little bit, man. So what have you been up to the past 6 months as we established the hiatus that we've been on? What has been what has BeBall Jones been on?